Good morning, everyone. This morning, we're going to be talking about building up our self-esteem. Turns out our esteem is with us in every experience that we really have. So trying to be, whether it's our own best friend, or not be so hard on ourselves in day-to-day interactions to make life more peaceful and prosperous. Additionally, for me, I'm really trying to build my self-esteem in the personal and professional settings. I think a lot of them mix together, the skill building and the activities. So we have a nice list of 10 tips and ideas that you can go over. Make sure to stick through us until the end because we're going to do a little coaching exercise on selecting our favorite one and trying to set up some action items for the week. Enjoy the show, everybody. This episode is all about self-esteem, episode 502. Cheers, folks. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Taryn Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best person you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. This morning, we're going to be diving into the topic of self-esteem. One of my favorite definitions of self-esteem is really how we perceive ourselves. How do we perceive ourselves? This can either be positive or this can be negative, but to really help, we're trying to be more on the positive side of things. We're trying to improve. Think of keywords like building up, progress, progression. These types of things I think can really help with our self-esteem. How do you view yourself when times get difficult? Are you hard on yourself? Who's kicking? I think back and it's almost, now I have such a healthy view on it that's like, wow, it makes me kind of smile and laugh a little bit. I was really hard on myself, like really, really hard on myself. And I think a lot of us are. We've all heard of this phrase of being our own worst enemy. So if anything from this morning show, maybe we can take away is we think of, how can I be my own best friend? How can I be a little kinder to myself? And so that leads us into the 10 tips. We're going to be going over 10 tips this morning. Stick with us till the end because we'll have a little bit of a coaching exercise at the end. Essentially, we're trying to pick our number one, and then we want to take some type of action. Always think in terms of action. When it comes to self-esteem, humans love evidence. We'd like to see that this stuff works. This is why free trials are so big in businesses all over the world. People want a little bit of a taste, a sample to show. And then once we get that taste, we get that sample, we're like, oh, this works pretty good. So hopefully try one of these out, and I think it can help you. It's been really helping me lately. Something over the years, really trying to build confidence in myself and just my delivery. And especially when time, if it's a normal casual day, my good days, I don't really think about it too much, but on my bad days, man, there has been some times where D-Dog's a little way too hard on himself. So I'm trying to reduce it. Hopefully you can too. So let's work together to try and build our self-esteem. First tip would be self-compassion. Having a little more compassion for ourselves can go a real long way. Self-compassion. How do we treat ourselves? Having a little more empathy for ourselves. So understanding, especially during these difficult times, I think we all have this inner critic, this judgment, and this icky, nasty stuff going on inside of ourselves. So bring a little more compassion to the table. Maybe we didn't get a good night's sleep. Maybe we haven't been on our workout routines lately. Maybe we're just human and we're expecting a little too much. Jeez, holy mackerel. What happened to letting people off the hook? Giving a second chance. So self-compassion this morning is something we want to try and bring to the table. That is our first tip idea. So think of this word compassion this morning. Today, share it with your friends, your family members. How can you bring a little more self-compassion to the table? It can go a real long way, folks. I know it has for me. Next one is on to our So we have some titles here I wanted to bring down here. I wanted to add some banners to the show this morning. So we talked about practicing self-compassion. The next one on our list is small goals, small wins. Goals and wins. We reference this idea that humans want evidence. So we need a couple wins. If we haven't gotten a win lately, our confidence, our self-esteem can tend to get a little low. We feel like we're in a little bit of a rut. So it's the basketball playoffs right now, and I'm a huge basketball fan. And when shooters are in a slump, sports metaphors are great. A shooter's in a slump, they really try to either get fouled or something, or they try to get an easy basket like a layup or some free throws to try and show that, okay, I can make the basket, and the basket starts looking a little bit bigger. So what kind of small wins or goals could you set for yourself to get you back on track today? Maybe if you want to write a book or something, what's a small win I could do today? Maybe it's 20 words. Maybe it's 10 minutes of a little bit of writing. Maybe it's a couple sales calls. Maybe it's having one conversation that we've been putting off. We talked about small ones and small goals in a lot more detail in another episode you can check out on our YouTube channel. But for goals and wins, that comes in at number 2 on our list to help build our self-esteem. Just get a win. Come on, one win. Maybe we just go to a meeting. Maybe we try one little short, small class online. Maybe we try to work with somebody. But just think small goals and small wins. When we're in a rut and we want to build up our self-esteem, small goals and small wins can go a real long way. Awesome. On to number 3 is acknowledge accomplishments and strengths. Accomplishments. What a long word in cursive. Accomplishments and strengths. So maybe you look at, I know it for me, here's an example. I bought a rental property that we did a good deal on. I was pretty excited about it for about 10 minutes. And then I was going on about, oh, I didn't do this right. Oh, I didn't do this right. Oh, my partner has way more properties than me. Oh, this is going on. Catastrophizing, comparison, all those tricks of the mind that go running away. So if you want to build our self-esteem, I like to make a list of not only my accomplishments, but also my strengths. But also my strengths along the way, just to show how much progress I've really made. I think if we took a time and a moment to really look at the accomplishments, whether it's education, whether it's like personal or professional, just within my relationships with my family and my friends, I've grown so much. I can't help but it builds my self-esteem up a little bit. So doing a little bit of a reflecting to see these accomplishments and strengths, I think can go a real long way for helping self-esteem. Next up is challenge thoughts. Challenge thoughts. A lot of these thoughts that torment and think of our ego as this bully that beats up on our self-esteem day in and day out. And I just want to challenge this. Challenge thoughts. Next time you have something come in that's a negative thought, such as if you peel back the layers of the onion, most of this stuff comes down to this idea of I'm not enough. What I have, the present moment is not enough. I'm either just worried about the future or I'm tearing myself up from the past, something about not enough. But when these ideas, these bullshit stories, these false narratives, when they come in, I want us to challenge them. That's not true. I'm making tons of progress. Look at my accomplishments and strengths. Look at the wins I've been getting. Look at geez. The human mind's natural state is chaos. Go figure. What the hell kind of deal is that? Well, I don't make up the rules and neither do you. So this is just one thing about being human, right? So we have some compassion for being human this morning. Turns out we're not perfect machines all the time. So having a little compassion and then challenge. That is just a thought. That's not me. I don't have to identify with that. That's not really who I am. And So as pattern seeking creatures, I see this so often with myself. I'll have one conversation, I'll read one article, and I'll form these strong opinions. And it's like these strong opinions just make me feel inadequate sometimes. So I want to challenge this. Next time it comes up this morning, you have a negative thought, challenge that and ask yourself, is that really true? And I'm willing to bet that the answer is probably no. Awesome. All right, rolling right along on to number 5. After we challenge those negative thoughts and we get them out of our heads, turns out just surrounding ourselves with positive people can go a long, long way. Jim Rome likes to say, you are the sum of the people you surround yourself with most, particularly like, you take the 5 people you spend the most time with, you're probably going to end up being the average of them, positive people. So if you want to be positive people can help make us feel a little bit better, maybe build up our self-esteem. Because if you have good friends, if you have good people around you, they're going to naturally want to help build your self-esteem. They're going to point out the things that our egos usually hold us back. Man, I don't really like this idea of being humble or whatever, because don't get me wrong, there's a difference between being cocky and just being proud of yourself, or just having strong. I want to be humble, but I also don't want to like tear myself down just because I did something good. I remember I got my master's degree. I was really proud of myself. And I got the dang thing, and then all I could think about is how these other kids had way better jobs than me lined up. They had better grades than me. They had better skills. It's like, what the hell is that? It's pretty crazy. So I want to surround myself with positive people that'll not only so I can help build myself up, but the people around me can help follow these rules and principles as well. Because no man is an island, folks. We got to do this. We're social, emotional creatures. Being part of a tribe, building status is so deep in our evolution and who we are as people. So we want to use it to help us and not hurt us. All right. Next one I have on the board is getting feedback and constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. So we talked a little bit about this ego getting in the way of things. Constructive criticism. Talking about our ego getting in the way. The ego is just this false self, this liar, storyteller. That's not true. That's evolutionary part of protecting ourselves, but no longer serves us. But with constructive criticism from other people, we can actually really learn and grow from that. Oh, I didn't view it that way. That's an opportunity for me to get better. That's an opportunity for me to get some feedback, make some adjustments. What is really life other than just going along, doing our best with what we got and trying to adapt and improve along the way? Well, it turns out with feedback and constructive criticism from positive people, I think we can really catapult ourselves to being the best version of ourselves. So using constructive criticism, and don't let that ego get you hurt. All the time I would have somebody read my writing or work on my schoolwork, or whether just kind of coach me up on my sales calls. And they'd be like, Tanner, I think you could improve on this and improve on this, and improve on this. And I just get so mad and angry. I'm like, well, you don't do that. And you're like this and this and this. And versus it's just an opportunity to grow. There's nothing wrong with that. I think everyone loves someone who can accept some feedback and accept some criticism, and not only take it, but also use it as an opportunity and not some challenge or some shot at my ego or something like that. So constructive criticism made our list at number 6. Next up on building our self-esteem is assertiveness. Turns out we got to maybe be a little more assertive. And what I mean by assertive, let me look over at my notes to make sure I have that. Really being able to communicate. I had down here boundaries was a key word that I had down here. Your boundaries, your opinions, and your needs. So we want to be assertive with our needs, with our our boundaries and our opinions. And I'm not saying you go out and you yell and you scream and you do all this, but like, don't be scared to stand your ground when it comes to expressing yourself, when it comes to like, so for example, you're trying to get a new client for your business and you have a set price point and you want to be, and they're like, oh, well, you know, little Timmy's got this going on and got this going on. No, sometimes we need to be assertive and say, hey, this is the value I bring. This is the service I provide, and this is the price that it costs. And we got to be able to stand our ground a little bit. And that's why assertiveness came up. And then when we do this, most people are like, okay, I can respect that. And there's a healthy and unhealthy way to do this, to be assertive, right? But I think a little common sense, as Henry Ford would say, goes a long way. So on this list, we got to have down being a little more assertive. Assertive. Awesome. Assertive made our list, practicing. Next up, we have for building our self-esteem. Good morning, everyone. If you're just now joining us, would be physical and mental health. Without our health, we ain't got shit. So health always makes the list. It tends to make our lists on this show. But of course, sometimes, folks, I got terrible memory. I need a reminder every now and again. So our health makes the list, our physical and mental health. If you want to have a higher self-esteem, I think really building up. Look in the mirror naked. Do I like what I see? Do I want to improve my physical body? Do I want to look? How's my mental health? Am I using too much marijuana? Am I drinking too much alcohol? Am I getting enough sleep? These are all huge impacts on our emotional health. So both our mental, our emotional, our physical health, if we can do the small steps, if we can practice these for 7, I think it's going to be naturally that we're going to be a healthier person. But it's a lot more rare for a super healthy person to have self-esteem issues versus someone who's really unhealthy. It's just how it works. So I personally, to boost my self-esteem, I like getting hard workouts in. I like to eat nutritious foods, and it gives me confidence when I see the results from my body and my figure in a healthy way, right? Everyone starts somewhere and we're all at different chapters in our lives, but this one has been huge for me on my confidence, on my motivation, and my self-esteem overall, just really practicing my health. I'll say it a million times more. If I don't have my health, I don't have shit. So it's always a priority. It makes our list. Awesome. All right, number 9 on our list. We're running out of room, folks. We have so much going on here. So I'm going to put number 9 over here. I like this one a lot. We're going to try new things. Try new things. What's something that you haven't done and you wanted to be doing? Is it skydiving? Is it a writing class? Is it a painting class? What's something new that you could try? Emphasis on new. New things get a little bit of the nerves going. New things get a little bit of an excitement out of us. So don't be scared to try new things. I have friends and I have family members who have been going back to school recently. I have people who are starting their own businesses, and just like the rush and the excitement of something new, I think can go a really long way when it comes to self-esteem, because it just gives us that confidence, that little boost, just evidence that we need as social emotional creatures. So number 9 on our list, maybe we try something new along the way. What could you try that would be new and fun? Even one of my friends who I was texting yesterday, he was talking about how I just hired a personal trainer. I'm working on it. and it's making exercise more fun. More fun. Emphasis on this word fun, right? Geez, how can we make life a little more fun and a little less serious? Geez, I think that can really boost self-esteem as well. Awesome. All right. Last but not least, helping others. Number 10 on our list for building self-esteem is helping others. When in doubt, help someone you love. Help others. All right. Help somebody else along the way, and I think it will go a long way for our self-esteem. Whenever I'm feeling down, whether I'm helping my girlfriend clean the house, or I'm helping my mom or my grandfather or something over there, or I'm just getting to talk to a friend I haven't talked to a long time, I was talking to my friend the other day. He's just had a slew of stuff that's been going on in his life. I think we all have those times. Jim Rome calls that the winter season. And I'm listening and I'm just saying, like, man, that's really tough. I'm here for you. Is there anything I can do? Like, what do you think about all this? What do you want to do moving forward? What's some advice you would give yourself? Just being a good friend, just listening, level 3 listening, just really listening to their tone, what they're saying, and how be compassionate for them, and just helping others, whether it's in communication. Maybe you even go volunteer, you get something, you get involved. But I'm telling you, when you help other people, there's something that can really help skyrocket our self-esteem. And so this is a list of 10 that I've been really excited about. I picked out of from my research on self-esteem. Excuse me, got a little chalk in my throat. But self-esteem, I believe, can go a real long way. Let's kind of review these as before we get into our coaching exercise. All right. So this was 10 tips to help build self-esteem. If you've been having some issues with self-esteem like I have been lately, and you really just want to vamp it up, juice it up, go through this list. You can always rewatch these videos on YouTube or any of our socials. And the first one is having some more compassion for ourselves. Think of, do you want to have a little more compassion? Maybe you just need a small goal or a small win. Maybe you look over your last recent accomplishments and strengths. You make a list. Number 4, challenge those thoughts that come in. This one's ever going. This one's really tough, but this one is probably, I think, one of the most beneficial. Number 5, positive people around you. Maybe you want to get a friend in business. You want to get a friend in your personal life. You want to go out to eat with a friend or something. Positive people. Constructive criticism, letting somebody get some advice from somebody and not get butthurt about it. I think it goes a long way. Constructive criticism. Maybe we want to just be more a little assertive, whether in sales and business, or assertive with boundaries with family and friends. 8, health. You don't got your health, you don't got shit. And number 9, try new things. Maybe you try something new. Or number 10, you go out and you help somebody today and you feel good about it. All 10 of these, but I want you to just pick one today. Pick your favorite one. You can always rewatch the video and come back. But for me, something that I want to do is I want to try something new. I'm going to try something new, and it is a writing class. Sorry, we're all over the board this morning, but I signed up for this writing class that I'm going to try. It's like a weekend thing in a couple weeks, and it's just a couple hours. It's free. It's small. It's offered through like a local school here. So you can do it online from the comfort of your home, but maybe you just try something new. It's like a creative writing thing. And I've always liked writing. I want to get better at it. And so it's an alignment. It's something new. It's getting me out there. So what ideas could you try on this list of 10 to help you build your own self-esteem today? Because the stronger your esteem, I think the more consistent our actions will be that are in alignment with who we really are, what we really want, and how we can impact the world. Thank you so much. I love you all. This was 10 tips to help build our self-esteem. We need confident folks. We need people who want positive change. And I believe this is the path forward. Leading by example is all we can really do. So cheers to self-esteem. Cheers to all this. In case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. Let's improve our self-esteem today. If you got some benefit from this morning show, this video, please share it with someone who you think could build their self-esteem and maybe implement one of our activities. It means the world to me. Give it a like, give it a share, and hopefully we can help spread this zero-cost way to help others be better versions of themselves. Awesome. Cheers, friends. I got to bounce. I got a busy coaching day today. Tuesdays are my busiest day, but it's going to be a good one, folks. You guys have a good one as well. I'll catch you later. Peace.